Have you been thinking about moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, but you aren't quite sure whether you'll actually like it here? Well, stick with me because in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 things I absolutely love about living here, and I think you will too. Hi, I'm Emma Swindells and I'm with Your Move Group based here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And on my channel, you can find out everything there is to know about eating, working, living, sleeping and playing in the Queen City. Now, if you're coming back to my channel, welcome back. But if this is your first time, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell and you'll be notified when I post new videos. Now, I get people reaching out to me from other states in the USA and also internationally every single day. So if you've got any questions, the only way you'll find an answer is if you give me a call, send me a text or email me, or even just write comments in the box below because I'd love to help you too. Okay, and just to give you a little bit of story about me, I moved over from the UK in 2010 and I went to Scottsdale, Arizona. And then in 2012, I moved from Scottsdale, Arizona to Charlotte, North Carolina. And what I'm going to share with you in this video are the 5 things I absolutely love about living in Charlotte and why I wouldn't want to live anywhere or move my family anywhere else. Okay, so the first thing that I want to mention, so number 1, has to be just the amount of growth. And like I said, I've been here just 10 years and just since moving here to today, the amount of growth that I've seen in this city is absolutely exploded. Now, what sort of growth? Well, we are seeing a ton of companies moving offices or headquarters here to Charlotte. That's got a lot to do with tax incentives being offered to those companies. But we are also seeing some big names making this their headquarters. LendingTree just built an absolute huge office uptown. We've got Ally Bank building a huge office. Honeywell recently moved their headquarters here. North Carolina in general, we are seeing the Apple campus move here again, and many technology companies are actually following suit. And we are actually being tagged the technology hub of the South. Also, we've got to talk about the transportation system. You know, the city is putting in a lot of effort with the transportation system just to make things a lot easier. It is an issue right now with flow of traffic getting in and out of Charlotte, and that's by air, train or car. So let's talk about the airport. They are adding another terminal to the airport and also another runway. That's going to allow for a lot more flights and international flights to come into Charlotte, which again is great progress. The light rail system, which is really pretty limited right now. They are adding extra lines to the light rail system. Again, we're probably not going to see those changes until approximately 2030, but they are coming. They are on the plan. And again, that's just going to have a huge impact on people wanting to move here and the flow of traffic around the city. The other thing they're doing is the highways and the roads. They are putting in, extra lanes. They are widening the roads. They're doing toll roads and they're also doing HOV lanes. Again, just to improve that flow of traffic around the city. Now, with the amount of companies moving here, they are bringing jobs. And because we are seeing so many companies in the technology, healthcare and finance field, they are bringing higher paying jobs. And with those jobs obviously are the people, because they are moving from out of state. And I believe from the last survey that I looked at, the most moved from states were New York, California and Illinois. And the reason people are moving here obviously is to do with the job opportunities, lower cost of living, and the weather certainly has something to do with it. The next thing that has absolutely boomed is definitely the housing and certainly the house prices, as everywhere has right now. However, I do feel in Charlotte we are still so much lower in terms of house prices compared to other places across the US. So you are getting so much more for your money when it comes to your standard of living and what your dollars will buy you in terms of a house. And because of the amount of growth, I just can't see this slowing down. We just have too much going on in Charlotte, too many people moving here on a weekly basis from those other states, that I just think Charlotte is going to go ahead and just continue to grow. certainly over the next 10 years, as all these companies are moving in and creating all these job opportunities. Okay, so my number 2 has to be the cost of living, which I did previously just touch on. But I just think that's a huge benefit for living in Charlotte compared to a lot of the other states. And I do have friends in other states. And just comparing housing, food bills, utility bills, you know, Charlotte does run pretty well. I think we're approximately 10% lower than the national average when it comes to cost of living. So again, just a great benefit for Charlotte. Now, your biggest expense is obviously housing, and we are far cheaper than so many other places, especially when you look at places like California and New York, where so many people are moving from. You completely understand why. And also things like your property taxes. I mean, you know, we have such reasonable property taxes right here in Charlotte. Speaking to some of my clients that are in New York or California, where they are paying, you know, sometimes tens of thousands in terms of property taxes. You know, a good area here, a 5,000 square foot house, approximately, you know, valued at $600,000. You're looking around $4,000 a year in property taxes. So that's a huge saving alone right there. Now, depending where you are, I believe utility bills are pretty much on a par. But also just remember, we are in the south. So although we do get very mild winters, obviously we do get very hot summers. So, you know, as you can expect, your electricity bill, for example, is going to kick up a lot more in the summer than you would expect if you're in somewhere with a little bit more of a mild climate year round. But just Charlotte overall, you do get a lot more bang for your buck. And the other huge benefit is we are on the border here, right with South Carolina. And what we do tend to find is sometimes, not always, but a lot of the time, we do find that gas prices, sometimes alcohol and food can be a little bit cheaper in South Carolina. So sometimes it's worth just hopping across the border, very close. We are basically neighbours, and getting those items there. Okay, so for number 3, I've got to just love on the location just a little bit, because I just think we are in a kind of prime location when it comes to having access to different things and different activities. So we are only approximately, again, depending on which one you go in, 2.5 hours to the mountains. And I do want to manage your expectations here if you're coming from the west or the northeast, whereby we're in North Carolina, we do not get a lot of snow. However, you know, we can go up to the mountains. I often throw my kids in the car just for the weekend, and we can do the skiing and the snow tubing. Sometimes they have the ice skating. There are a few resorts, like I say, 2.5 hours away. But it's just enough to get your snow fix. Again, man-made snow a lot of the time, and you do also need to watch the temperatures, because sometimes even in the mountains during, you know, December, January, February, you can get temperatures in the 60s. So you always want to check the forecast before you go. The other thing is, if skiing's not your thing, we are only like 3.5 hours from some amazing beaches. Whether you are looking for something really lively for the family, I'll throw my kids in the car again in summer and just head out to Myrtle Beach. It's a killer weekend there. Crazy, so much to do and easy to access. If you're looking to kick back, again, lots of beaches with less going on, where you just have wide expanse of sand and the kiddos can just build sandcastles all day. If you are looking for a little cheeky romantic getaway with your love, again, you can just get down to Charleston in South Carolina or Savannah, and you can be there in probably around 4 hours. And again, it's just a nice way to get away, spend your weekend somewhere different. Other thing, which is a huge benefit, we do have 2 huge lakes. We have Lake Wiley down in the south and Lake Norman, which is in the north of Charlotte. Big lakes, lots going on there. We can, you know, you can take your boats, you can do your water skiing, wakeboarding, and, you know, your tubing. They have bars and restaurants. You can just dock up, you know, jump out your boat and go and have a few drinks and a bite to eat. Very family friendly. A lot of college kids will go on the lake and enjoy a day lake, so it really has something for everybody. The other thing that I absolutely love about Charlotte is me and my daughter like to horse ride. Once you get out of the city, again, there's just plenty of green, plenty of countryside, and that's within 15-20 minutes of Charlotte. You can escape the city and just cruise down. Lots of activities there. We've got a lot of little wineries, we do horse riding, little farms, so many things on offer that I would be crazy not to mention the location as one of my favourite things. Okay, so do stick with me because my fifth reason is the main reason why I would actually never move anywhere else. So it is a really good one, a really important one. But moving on to number 4, and I'm going to actually probably have to refer to my list for this. Just want to talk about the amount of things there are to do in Charlotte, because whether you're single or like me, I'm a family, there is just a ton of activities. You can seriously really never get bored. Starting off with something which is a big one for most people is certainly the sports, and we do have some really good sports teams here in Charlotte. We are home to the Carolina Panthers. They play at the Bank of America Stadium. We have the NASCAR, which again, not a lot of places have NASCAR. That is huge pull here in Charlotte. We have Charlotte Football Club. I've got to tell you, obviously being from England, I was absolutely blown away with the attendance and the attendance they are getting. It just makes me really happy to see that soccer is taking off in the States. Other things we have is the Charlotte Hornets. They play the basketball games at the Spectrum Center. We also have the Charlotte Hurricanes, which is ice hockey, and of course, let's not forget baseball, we do have the Charlotte Knights. If sports are your thing, certainly Charlotte has a lot to offer. You will not get bored. There's always something going on and someone to support. We have a whole host of museums, both for adults and also for children. I'll often take my kids to Discovery Place, and they've got 2 locations. They've got Discovery Place in Charlotte and one for younger children in Huntersville. I can spend a day there with my kiddos. They absolutely love it. We have concert venues, so whether you're looking for an indoor concert with the Spectrum Center, they headline some really big acts, or you want an outside venue, we have the PNC Music Factory, and they will put on a lot of country concerts, which I absolutely love. I know, surprising being from England, but give me a good old country concert any day. We also have obviously theatres. The Blumenthal Theatre is certainly a big one. We have some great shows visiting there that you'd see on Broadway. The nightlife, the way that Uptown is exploding with different bars, different restaurants, from cuisines from all over the world. We're seeing a whole host of breweries. Breweries are just popping up all over the place. I've got no complaints. There's nothing I love more than taking the family and sitting in a beer garden and spending a Sunday afternoon watching them play and having a drink. Culturally, just a whole host of things going on. Charlotte is becoming a melting pot of different cultures, people moving internationally and from different states. And I've got to say, I absolutely love that. Other things we've got is, we've got the theme parks. We have got Carowinds, a great way to spend a day with the kiddos, ride some roller coasters. They've got a huge water park there too, and also we've got the Whitewater Rafting Centre, which is the Olympic training facility right here in South Charlotte. Again, it's just a great place to go and spend a day. They've got not only the rafting, they have the walking trails. They put bands on. You can go and eat there. You can take your dogs. You can hang out. You can paddleboard. You can rock climb. Whether you're single or taking the family, it's just a great way to spend a full day, and everybody actually enjoys it. Okay, number 5, this is the thing I love the most about living in Charlotte, and the reason that at this point in my life I would not consider moving anywhere else, and it is all to do with the people. There are the friendliest, most warmest, welcoming people here in Charlotte, so the southern hospitality certainly does exist. Whether I am walking up the street, people will often, raise a hand, nod a head to say hi. Even if I'm driving in my car, locally around my area or neighbourhood, people will raise a hand. And let me tell you this, if you are in the checkout line at Target, do expect to have a conversation with someone who is actually genuinely interested in you, in your life. I do believe I'm pretty well travelled. I've been to many places where you line up to pay for something and nobody would even acknowledge your existence. For me, the warmth and friendliness of people is just, I absolutely adore it. I've just covered my 5 things that I love about Charlotte, but if you are looking to move to the area, I know it can be overwhelming, but I'll take good care of you. So any questions, don't be afraid to reach out. You can call me, text me, email me, day, evening, weekend, and I will answer those questions for you. When it comes to moving to Charlotte, I've got your back. So until next time, take care.